TLDW, is Clip Studio Paint 4.0 worth your money? I think if you're coming from anything before 3, the answer is yes.
Perfect.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of year again. The time of year when Clip Studio Paint asks you for more money and hopefully offers you better features in return. Do you accept the offer? Let's see. Some people were confused in my last video when I went over Clip Studio Paint. They were confused about 2 things, right? They wanted me to be more professional or calm down or whatever, but I'm not going to. This is my opinion. This is a software I use daily. I have strong opinions about the software I use and where my money goes. So my tone's gonna remain the same. If this is something that you don't like, there are plenty of other people on YouTube who offer you a different tone. Here, I'm very honest. I'm very honest because this is my hard-earned money that's going towards software that makes me more money. I want that software to be good. I want to pay the people who make the software to do good. And when they don't do good, I get angry, okay? And when I get angry,
I start making videos like this.
I'm also going to cover all the features from 3.1 and 3.2 up till 4, because as a user of 4.0, those are all the features you're going to get. If you did not buy the update pass, you do not have these features in 3.0. If you only have a perpetual license for Clip Studio Paint 3.0, you don't have changes 3.1 and on. That's why I cover them. All right, starting in version 3.1, we have some new animation features. I'm not gonna go over all these changes. I will leave all the release notes for 3.1 up until 4 in the description. I think it's worth your time to just read through the notes. This is what you're paying for. Here we have enhanced animation features. So what's happening here is when you add colors to an animation folder or a layer, you can now show those colors respectively in the timeline. I use Clip Studio Paint animation features basically non-commercially, so none of this stuff affects me that much. I'm always for quality of life changes though, so this seems like a nice quality of life feature. It's just not something I'm gonna use. Oh, and we're going back to the old way of grading things. So moving forward, we're gonna do, is this gas or is this, I think this is gas, all right? This is good, it's fire, okay? It's fire, dude. It's the old way of doing it. Support for the Apple Pencil Pro Squeeze. I hate Apple, don't care about it. But cool that it's there now, wonderful, but this is, no. All right, no, that seems like a good feature. It's good that they're implementing that. Improved time-lapse function. When recording a time-lapse, you can now select between prioritize quality and prioritize file size. Okay, that seems like a good quality of life, thumbs up. Noise pattern feature added to watermark settings. So I think this is to confuse generative AI learning. So this is for Gen AI stuff. Cool, add it if you want. I think it ruins the art, but it's there. You can add it. Support for importing BVH files. So these must be animation files. I'm not familiar. Again, the 3D features, I'm just not very interested in. Improve settings and functionality for converting to lines and tones. So this is actually a very helpful filter. I do use this often. I'm always for, again, things speeding up, things being faster. The fact that, wait, you can apply a brushstroke to this? Dude, that's actually fire, dude. Okay, that's actually super tight. So now you can convert to lines and you can use specific brushes. It's now possible to project shadows from one 3D material onto another. So again, they're just increasing their 3D engine capabilities. I do not care about this stuff, but super cool for people who do and can't draw shadows properly. Amazing. Improved usability in studio mode. So this is, I think, an iPad, Android related thing only. It's too simple, but okay, cool. That's in desktop now. Adjust colors with filters. Oh, this is for the iPad version. Okay, cool, great. Amazing. These are all just changes between 3.1 leading up to 3.2. So now we're gonna go into 3.2. There's a bunch of changes here. Let's see what the new features in 3.2 are that you get when you buy 4.0. And you did not get if you bought a perpetual license for 3.0. Capiche? Tutorial and hint feature. Wow. It's just like a video game. Okay, great. I guess that's good for new users. Don't care for it. Support for Morph Expressions in VRM files. Is this for like VTuber stuff? Anyways, all right. I don't know if this is for like VTuber stuff or just 3D posing. I don't know what this is for. Look at this. I guess it helps you draw because you just trace it. Amazing. Well, they gotta get deadlines. Gen AI takes over your job. Not that I want that to happen. I think AI is unethical. Cold take, I know. So now you can import cats into Clip Studio Paint. Obviously a huge W. No, it looks like you can now easily import videos taken with a tablet or smartphone. You can draw on your imported videos and add animations. Tablet or smartphone related thing, cool. You can do animations on your smartphones, great. Intuitive and tonal correction in Studio. So again, so you just see 3.2, 2 of the biggest changes they added were for tablet and smartphone users only. That's where my money went. A whole point number version of the software went towards things that I don't use all the time. So for me, as a professional and the consumer, doesn't seem like a good use of my money. But now we go to 4.0. It used to be the case, back in the good old days, you used to have to go from 3.1 to 3.9, and then you get a numbered version. But now Clip Studio Paint and all these other softwares, they don't care about that. All they care about is getting your sweet, sweet cheddar in their pockets. Little mice sniffing around, looking for that Gouda. So in 4.0, we have faster mesh transformation. So performance on the mesh transformation has been improved. And again, I am totally fine with paying for software that gets faster, smoother, better. I think quality of life stuff is worth the money. So this is cool, great. When making color changes with the color settings dialog, you can now preview the changes on the canvas for some functions. Okay, cool, great. Real-time preview of colors. The watermark setting has been added to the export settings dialog when running batch export from the menu. So now you can batch export watermark over a bunch of pages. Okay, quality of life for people who do webtoons and stuff like that, and they probably want to show previews of that stuff. I get that. Okay, fine. Improvements to the subtool palette. So now you can more easily manage your brushes. You can make checkboxes. This is going to make exporting brushes much easier, making brush packs much easier. Also, just organizing your brushes in general is going to be easier now, because I have a ton of brushes and I had to move them all one by one. Now that I can shift select, great quality of life feature. Thumbs up to them for this. Enhanced ambient lighting. Cool. The 3D software can now load HDRIs. Okay. You can now paint on 3D objects and primitives. That's pretty cool. You could basically use this as like a replacement for Substance Painter. I don't know actually how good this texturing is. I should actually try it, but that's pretty cool actually. If you can export the texture as a UV map, that would be really cool. Okay, cool, great. There's now a magnetic lasso similar to Photoshop and Clip Studio Paint. So it's going to detect whatever layer it's on, and it's going to go over the selection and help you make better selections, which is super handy, honestly. You will be able to make faster selections now. Love that. Again, quality of life stuff. Oh, and it snaps to vector pass. Also really cool. Oh, and they added this. They combined the polygonal and normal lasso tool. So now when the normal lasso selection is set to multiple input, you can create a selection area that combines freehand and polygonal actions by dragging and clicking. And you can also snap to 45 degrees. What? That's actually huge. I've actually been wanting that for a long time. So basically now when you draw with the lasso tool and it has multiple input, you can draw freehand, or then you can make sharp corners, because some shapes have like a smooth part and then a really sharp part. So now you're gonna be able to do that so much easier. Before I had to kind of like make the smooth part and then go back through with the polygonal lasso. Having it in one go, awesome. Fire, dude, fire. That is gas, bro. The lens blur and crystallize filters have been added. Now, I've been waiting for the lens blur filter for a long time, Clip Studio Paint. It's actually one of the main things I went to Photoshop for in the most recent while, is actually having a lens blur. It is a nice looking filter, or I did it in DaVinci Resolve, but having it here, so great. I love the lens blur filter for that more photorealistic look on your paintings, or even something like Riot Splash Art. They use the lens blur filter a lot. Gas, bro. And then the crystallize filter, this is cool. Didn't need it, but I got it. Snap to objects. This has been something that I've been waiting for a long time. Snap to objects is so important. So now objects are gonna align to one another and snap to the ends of one another, and it works on perspective grids and vector lines, which is super cool. So this is a huge feature that I've been waiting for a long time. Here's an example. So it's snapped to the perspective grid here. Let me know in the comments if you want to know how they're doing what they're doing. I've had to do this exact same thing before in professional work, and I had to do it by hand, and it was a pain in the butt. So you see they're aligning objects. You'll see they'll snap to one another, so you can get objects lined up to the middle, to the ends, way more easily now. And text also snaps. This is all amazing stuff. This is like basic photo editing functions coming to Clip Studio Paint that I think are really valuable, because they're just going to speed up your workflow. Amazing, great. And finally, we have the Puppet Warp. The Puppet Warp is a really cool tool that helps you repose characters from Photoshop, and they brought it over to Clip Studio Paint. After Effects also has this tool. This is a really cool tool. I actually like them introducing stuff like this. It's gonna help you. I don't know if you can keyframe these puppet things. That would be really cool. I don't think you can, but still, reposing a character quickly, Puppet tool is the way to do it. It used to be the case that you'd have to like liquefy your characters to get them to repose, but using the puppet tool is probably like non-destructive and you can just do it on anything. That's cool. So how do you get Studio Paint 4.0? We're back, we're still doing this. If you're using the update pass, you already get it. You have to, let's just say your current version is 1.0. Here's what you have to do. You have to pay for 2.0, then you have to pay for 3.0, then you have to pay for
Portal 2, and then we have to ship Dota 2, and then we'll ship Portal 2, and then we'll ship
4.0. So you're looking at $130, $140, which honestly from 1.0 to 4.0 is not bad. If you're a 2.0 user, you need to buy 3.0 and then buy 4.0. And if you're a 3.0 user, you can go straight to 4.0. These graphs, dude, these graphs, they kill me. They kill me. So I'm gonna leave these on the screen so you can figure out which one is right for you. Good luck figuring it out. Make sure you contact a lawyer. And now the final verdict. Is Clip Studio Paint 4.0 worth your money? I think if you're coming from anything before 3, the answer is yes. Particularly for me, if I was in 3.0 and I had a perpetual license, the snapping to objects alone is something I would upgrade for. Just that feature alone. The problem is I don't think that feature or the features listed in 4.0 justify a whole version number. This is my big poo-poo with Clip Studio Paint currently, is I don't know who they're making the product for. Is it only professionals in the animation industry? Is it 3D artists? If you want more people in the concept art and professional AAA industry using this product, we just need more quality of life features. So 1, I was really hoping we would get a pen tool, a proper pen tool. It is time. It is time, Clip Studio Paint. I was hoping, and I said this last year, I was hoping for layer styles. I was hoping for an outer glow, an inner shadow, a drop shadow, things that you can non-destructively add to your layers. Secondly, PSD compatibility. There are still tons of issues when working and sharing files between Clip Studio Paint's PSD and native Photoshop. This is still an industry standard file type. It has to be working properly one-to-one. Curve layers and any layer adjustments should be one-to-one, and Clip Studio Paint should be copying Photoshop and how they do it, not the other way around. Photoshop has much better grading, professional grading and coloring features than Clip Studio Paint does. The compatibility kind of breaks down at some points. And it's very frustrating because then I just have to work in Photoshop, and I hate working in Photoshop. Photoshop is a drag to working compared to Clip Studio Paint. So I may spend a lot of negative energy on Clip Studio Paint, but I really want the product to be better. I use it every single day. I use it for all my personal art. It is something I have spent the last 6 or 7 years spending the most time in on my computer is Clip Studio Paint. So I'm very familiar with the program and where its pitfalls are, and I want it to be better. And I think a lot of these quality of life things that I'm asking for wouldn't actually be too much of a headache. Stuff that could be released in a non-numbered version of the software. I hope Clip Studio Paint takes feedback from not just the manga and animation industry, but also the concept art and painting industries. Like, we have to be able to work in files that are shared across multiple people and it be compatible. I want a solid illustration program, and there are tools in Photoshop that are great for illustration. All these filters and effects, non-destructive workflows are great for illustration. I think Clip Studio Paint is a solid piece of software. You should upgrade if you have anything before 4.0, because this feels like a good landing place to buy another perpetual license. In my opinion, I'm gonna continue to pay one more year. I'm gonna give them one more chance with an update pass and see what they give me in 5.0 and see if it's worth my money. And if they add any of the things I just mentioned, I will eat my hat and I will continue to support them. Otherwise, next year, I'm probably gonna buy a perpetual license for 5.0 and stop giving my money for at least a year. Anyways, like, subscribe, join the Lizard Legion, check out my Patreon if it interests you. And remember guys, whether you use Clip Studio Paint, Krita, GIMP, or Photoshop, go and make good art.